Thank you for watching Meatsauce Monty. I'm Matt Montgomery. He's Paul Meatsauce Lambert. Daylight saving time, man. It's throwing everybody off.
Yeah, my naps have gotten longer. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I hate it. Like, I like the extra hour of sleep, but that's the only thing that's good
That's for one day.
Right, and now we've all moved past the fact that we used to love it because it was one more hour at the bar.
Yeah.
But now, like, I'm not out that late. I like the extra hour of sleep, but then when it's dark at 2:15, you're like, well, what the hell's happening? But, you know, it is what it is.
And the weather here is not helping either. That extra snow, it's extra cold. Allie's crabby.
Yeah, everybody's
Todd says
crabby.
midlife crisis. I'm melting down.
You are?
You need a nap. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm a busy guy,
You're
man.
busy?
I'm very busy. I love this TV show. I love my job. I love my kids. I love sports. But, oh, God. Something.
Yeah, see, I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, I know.
I started an NBA 2K20 season and already I'm in the championship. I have nothing to do.
See, you and I remember when we pitched the show, the guy at the CW was like, oh, we're like the odd couple, and we kind of joked about that stuff. Right now, we could not be more of the odd couple.
Yeah.
3 kids, minivan, busy, 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 and you're like, I got a dog.
Yeah.
I nap.
I nap every day.
It's pretty sweet.
Buy stuff I don't need, spend money frivolously, that word, and
Good word.
Yeah.
I'm very frugal.
I'm not. I literally throw money out the window.
I hang on to cars until they don't run anymore.
No, I buy one the second I can buy a new one.
The Tesla?
Yeah.
How's it doing in these conditions?
Haven't got it yet.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be a week ago.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be on Monday, but yeah, a little bit of back order because it's a popular car, I just learned.
It's very popular.
Yeah.
Very popular.
Yeah.
I learned this week, a gentleman was talking to me about our show, and he's like, it's kind of the K-fan, it's the same thing with our show, but it's the K-fan method of, he said, nobody really cares about sports. He said, they watch you to have fun. He said, they watch to see you be funny. That's the whole purpose of the show. Like, yes, we love the Vikings, and we love Mystic Lake, and we love the CW.
Sure.
We love all these people. They are wonderful people.
Yes, we do.
But at the end of the day, people watch to see you be funny.
Yeah, so they're going to be watching for a while.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah.
Although today, we got a couple chuckles over there.
Wow.
A couple.
I mean, that's like, Jesus, Lord, look at that human being. I'd laugh too. Wears the same 2 shirts every time.
Like the
His
sideshow.
boots don't look proper.
Interesting.
So hockey the other day, speaking of me.
Yeah, okay.
Hockey the other
Go
day
ahead, keep
gave me
going.
a bunch of crap about how, he's like, why do you wear boots? I'm like, what do you mean? Why do I wear boots? He's like, you don't go outside. You hire everything. I'm like, yeah, so? Yeah, why do you care? Because I was like, we saw a commercial for like these LL Bean boots. And I'm like, I'm going to buy those. And I'm sitting behind him, and he literally, like Linda Blair exorcist, turns around, and he's like, why? You don't go outside. So I thought about it. I don't. I go from a closed garage in my condo building to work, which is a closed garage, up the elevator, do my thing, go out, and I go to the downtown Target. Don't go outside.
Yeah.
I should wear flip-flops.
You could be wearing Crocs year-round.
No,
you
I'm
could
not
be
wearing
that
Crocs.
guy.
No, Crocs.
Some people do it.
Nah, it's not my thing.
Really?
Not my style.
You're not a Croc guy?
No.
The boots work for you, but...
I'm fashionable obese is what I call it, and I'm not wearing Crocs.
You think Crocs add to the fashionable
No,
obese?
I just can't wear them. Like, everybody who has them says they're super comfortable, but I'm not going that far. Yeah.
I've seen big people wear Crocs. You know, I'm just saying it's not that they.
It's
not
internet,
that you can't.
It's your internet search.
It's my. Really?
Yeah. It's the
Internet
number one thing
searches.
searched on your phone.
Yeah, obese people wearing Crocs.
Obese Crocs.
You know what?
Sometimes you barely make it to the website. You wanted humor? Here we go.
There we go. That's going to be in one of our clip shows later this year.
God,
probably.
that's going to be sent to the FCC.
Yes, web browsing. It'd be interesting to see. You have so many funny stories of videos that you've
on the
fallen
podcast,
across.
like about my web browsing. I'm like, first off,
Who asked you?
People. Corey and hockey.
Okay.
I'm like, what do you mean? Hockey watches old people and wrestling and weird stuff. Mine's not weird. Oh, here comes the security to kick me off the stage. This was short-lived. Sorry, Todd.
You know. All right, so our business. Vikings are 6-3 this week. They take on the Dallas Cowboys, who are 5-3. They lead the NFC East, but we're coming off a loss to the Chiefs. What's your take on that loss? Not to brag. Do you remember? Well, you don't remember picks. You probably don't even remember where you parked your car. I picked that the Vikings were going to win the game 24-23. Yeah, Valley. I picked they were going to win 24-23. You picked something like 34-24. If Bailey makes the extra point, obviously they don't try the field goal then, whatever. But I'm like, Okay, that game was exactly how I predicted, except we lost.
You were right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. That's a tough loss. I can't wait to talk to Pete Bercich about it. But
it's gonna be great.
You should have won that game.
Absolutely.
Matt Moore's a backup. He's a career backup for a reason. No Frank Clark. No Brashad Breeland, one of their best corners. Their offensive line was beat up. They were missing 2 or 3 starters. That defensive line of the Vikings should dominated. They blitzed one too many times. They left too many wide open situations for the Chiefs. That 91-yard run's an absolute that's a backbreaker. You get all the momentum back when he fumbles the kickoff.
Yes.
You go in, you score. Kirk Cousins throws 3 touchdowns. The yards aren't there, but he did his part. And then the play calling at the end of the game, you're throwing a wide receiver screen.
Yeah.
You got to get like 6 yards and then go for, 3rd and 16 or 3rd and 10. 3rd and 25 is awful.
Yeah.
It was bad play calling, and they got out coached a little. Andy Reid, people say, he's a gimmicky guy. A lot of it's gimmicks, but man, that guy can coach.
Yeah.
He's a really good coach, and he out-coached us. And then the timeout situation, that's a huge win if they win.
Yeah, you just took all my notes and just summed it up in like a minute.
Well,
that was really good.
I was there.
Oh,
when
yeah.
When
Tell
you're
us about
there
the
and
party.
I'm standing behind, I didn't do anything. I got off the bus.
Okay.
Went and had ate dinner with Corey, and it was like eating with a kid, but I love Corey Cove.
Chicken strips.
So I'll go with him instead of going like, we're going to go to get barbecue and you're just going to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. So he and a couple other guys like, we're going to the casino. I'm like, oh, good. I'm going to bed. I went back, laid on the top of the bed.
Okay.
Didn't get under the bed.
This is getting very interesting.
Yeah, but I don't
in a hurry.
I've been in a hotel bed. They're gross.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I went to bed.
Are you saying you made a hotel bed gross?
Well, me laying in it made it pretty gross.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah, I thought earthquake was back.
You're afraid of those FCC regulations,
I'm not
aren't
afraid
you?
of anything.
You want to get back to the game, or you want to talk about hotel rooms?
But it was fine. It was great. But the game, man, PA, and then of course Pete Bercich.
Who's our guest today? We're thrilled to have him here. We're going to talk to him in like 3 or 4 minutes.
The emotions that go through that, and you have to pay attention because I was helping hockey with stuff, so the emotions of that, it was sweet, dude. I watched it more intently than I think I've ever watched it.
So let's just sum it up. The last 2 drives in the fourth quarter. This is where Vikings fans get critical. They either say that it was Cousins' fault for not executing or Stefanski's fault for the play calling.
Yeah.
In that situation, tie game, fourth quarter, chance to go down, take the lead. 2 3-and-outs. They took a total of less than 2 minutes off the clock. Where do you place? And I'm not a huge blame guy.
No, I'm not.
But when you look at it, who would you say? Yeah, it was just either lack of execution or the call itself.
I think it was the lack of play calling. And I also think another key moment in the game was when Kirk Cousins, on his own accord, missed that first down.
Yeah.
He's your franchise quarterback, at least for next year and the last 6, 7, 8 games of this season. You get on that headset and you go, you screwed up. You get us that first down. You line them up. You hand it off to Dalvin. You pitch it to somebody, you hand it off to Cook, you run a small bootleg and let him run it, but you make him get that first down. Because then you go back on the bench and it's human nature.
Yeah, dejected.
You sit there, you stew, and that might have snowballed.
Yeah.
That might have snowballed a little. So I don't know. The play calling was horrific. The tight end screen is an awful call. That has to be such a low percentage play.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Throw it down the field.
See, you're saying what everybody was saying on the couch. It's like, what are they doing?
What are they
Why?
doing? Yeah. And then the shanked punt, that didn't help. That was hideous.
The Colquitt brother battle went to the late in the.
That was god awful.
You could go outside with those boots right now and probably kick a 27-yarder.
And I didn't tweet this. He tweeted it. He's in the building. John Creasel would have punted it better.
Yeah, he did.
And
then bionic legs. That's
right.
It was
but
funny.
it was an awful loss.
It was awful. We can get off that loss. So now we're 6-3. We're still just a game behind the Packers because they lost to the Chargers. We're taking on Dallas. Sunday Night Football, primetime game. We're going to do our picks at the end of the show, but primetime, NBC. What's your thoughts on that tonight?
It's an absolute must-win. Because you got to win tonight. If you go to 6-4, you're gonna get at least one more loss in Seattle. They're not gonna. So then you get to 6-5. Then the best you can do is 11-5. You have to win tonight. And the Cowboys are a beatable team.
You're making me nervous now.
Must win. How is it not a must win?
Because the old saying, if the playoffs started today, the Vikings are in.
Yeah.
So a must win to try to hold serve of where they're at.
It's a must win. From a morale standpoint, Kirk Cousins absolutely needs to win a big game on the road. They get a big win tonight, it'll do wonders for the rest of the season. It's a week-by-week thing. 3 weeks ago, we were calling for Cousins to be fired. I mean, people were calling fan line and asking if Kyle Sloter could be on the team or would be the quarterback. He's not even on the team. Right. So, like, it's from a morale standpoint and the Monday morning quarterback standpoint of how they react to Kirk Cousins. And the weird part about Kirk Cousins is if someone brought him home, if your daughter, one of your children brought him home, as like, if he was
this is getting very weird.
No.
You're freaking me out here.
It's not weird, but if somebody, like, he's a model citizen.
Oh, yeah,
like, if your 25-year-old daughter and he was 25, brought him home, you'd be like, yeah,
he's a good guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
He's the nicest guy in the world.
And he gets way too much crap for what he's done.
Yes.
And he threw 3 touchdowns last year.
His day.
He's been fine, but like
he had a couple floaters and missed a few.
He has to win a big game.
Yeah.
He has to.
Yep.
And now, record-wise, he's back to being a 500 quarterback.
Yikes. All right, we'll do our picks later. You want to talk any more Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, or should we get Pete Bercich up here?
Now we can get Pete. Pete'd rather talk than
Let's have Pete
ramble.
Bercich come up here.
Yeah.
All right, so without further ado, we welcome to the stage Pete Bercich. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have guests on this show usually. A lot of times we have to talk about their career because they're no longer connected or, their playing days. You still get to be in the announcing booth with Paul Allen, so you've got connections to K-Fan, still connected to the team, still paying attention to the league.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about yourself or you want to talk about the current team?
No, I don't.
It's up to you.
I don't want, my story is, it's been, I'm blessed. I'm so lucky. This is my 24th season with the Vikings in one capacity or another. I played for them, then they cut me, and then I coached for them, then they fired me, and then I come back.
Wow.
So it's like I'm like moss. I kind of just grow on you. You know what I mean?
All right.
But doing this and doing the radio for it's my 13th season now, 14th season.
Wow.
Whatever it's been, it goes by so quickly.
It's a good ride.
A lot of football. You can't remember all of it. I mean, I know I can't, but it's been a blast. I mean, I know Paul today or earlier the week talking on the radio about the Dallas Cowboy playoff game that was here. And I remember that game and how great it was and how loud the dome was. And
is that 2009?
2009.
Yeah.
So it's just, it goes by so quickly.
Yeah.
It's just fun to go back and remember those things. So.
Is it more fun to do the radio than it was to do the work? I mean, obviously being a player you're the player, but now it's.
All right, so here's the answer to your question. The pay is a lot less.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sure.
So that part of it, that's the only part of it that's worse. I mean, when I was playing, I promised myself at some point I would be involved in football where my day didn't matter about as far as how I felt when I got up in the morning and got in the shower.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because on game day, if you get up and you don't feel well, it's going to be a long day. You want to wake up, you want to feel, you want to be feeling good, you want to be loose, and then all that, and you get in this. You start as soon as you wake up mentally thinking about the game and what you have to do. And coaching is kind of the same way. And I get the chance now to just watch everything and enjoy it. I've already been part of it on those levels. I don't have any desire to go back. I can just sit and watch it and enjoy it. And then the other part of it is I can bring people in, family, friends, my fiance, whomever, to bring in, and they can enjoy the moment as well. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that part of it, that's probably the most fun I have now, is just being able to share what we do. Because when you play and coach, you can't.
Right.
You just can't really. It's just something you do, and you got to go do it. So
you go back to last week's game where they lose by 3 on a field goal. I was standing right by you when that happened. The biggest cliche in sports, Pete, is we move on. Is it as easy for the players as some of us fans can't move on? I mean, do they get to Tuesday and they're like, yeah, all right, fine, we lost, but we have to. Dallas, we're playing Dallas no matter what.
Well, I think the great players, no matter how well they played on Sunday, they have to forget it and they go on to the next one. And they say we have to move on, in which they do, but if you didn't play well and made a lot of mistakes, that part doesn't leave you on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
What that does is you say, I better get my act together because I don't want a repeat performance of last Sunday. So they say, yeah, they forget about it. They may forget about the game and no longer lament the loss, that kind of thing. But they definitely, it stays. If you don't play well, if something does not go well, it stays with you the whole week because you spend the whole week trying to fix it. That's what you do.
Right.
You watch the film, you say, all right, we didn't do this, we did great at A, B, and C, we got to work on, C, D, and F, whatever. That's what you spend the next week focusing on. So you'll say, yeah, we're moving on, we're forgetting about it, but you still have all those things in the back of your mind.
The one thing you pointed out multiple times in last Sunday's game against the Chiefs is how badly they got into position on defense, and how at one point the Cousins to Rudolph touchdown, they basically did a full change like a basketball team. And the problem is the Vikings took advantage of it at some point. Dallas isn't going to have that issue. They're not going to get into Dallas. All of a sudden they're going to be out there and they're going to go, wait, we don't know what we're doing. So that's a huge advantage that they're not going to have this Sunday against Dallas.
It was. Kansas City, for whatever reason, they did these mass substitutions, and they tried to be too perfect.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you'll see, and we've seen out of this offense all year, is if you get a big play that takes them past midfield, they get to the 40 or 30, they'll line up and snap the ball again right away.
Yeah.
And they do that so to keep a defense on its heels, and so you can't substitute. And that was one of the 12 men on the field penalties that they had called because they do that. So it's another trick up your sleeve, so to speak, as an offense. They hurry up, get to the line. You can't substitute, do those things. Dallas's defense is very, very similar to ours, and I say that in scheme and somewhat in personnel as well. But Zimmer coached there for a long time, and I still think some of what he did and what they did back then is there right now. Dallas, they're known for their 4-3 defense and playing cover 8 and doing things like that. So they did all the years in the 90s when they won the Super Bowls. And they haven't changed a ton from when Zimmer was down there. It's a very, it's very similar. It's going to be pretty, it's good for our offense in that they see that front all the time in practice, or they know, they're familiar with it. So that helps a little bit. It's not a 3-4 in some bizarre scheme that they haven't seen or anything and have a lot of learning to do. But they've got some pretty good players down there, so they're going to have to figure.
As a player, as a broadcaster, what's your reaction when you hear people like Paul say it's a must-win when we're halfway through the season? Is that a cliche?
I guess it's a mentality. As a player, the only must-win is when you walk in and you say you have to win today to make
back
it to
against
the playoffs.
That situation.
That's a must-win.
Sure.
For us, I find myself as I get older, it was one of the hardest things about the Buffalo loss a year ago, and then this year the losses in Green Bay and Chicago. Now we've lost 3 games. They've all been on the road, and they all been outside, and they all been on grass.
Yeah.
Okay. But you go back to Green Bay and Chicago. Here we go. Cousins makes one deep throw in either of those 2 games, we win at least one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Penalties killed us. Right. Dalvin Cook in the pass interference in the end zone kills a big touchdown. The Bears game, you sack Trubisky, you hurt him, you recover the fumble. It's called back because Anthony Harris is a holding call.
Yep.
Those 4 plays.
Yeah.
And you win at least one of those 2.
And penalties on Sunday against Kansas City that were poorly timed, that also hurt.
And you can go back, but the games like this, when you're in Arrowhead and you're playing the Chiefs at the right time, because they don't have Mahomes, they've got a lot of guys that are nicked up. You have to win those games. You have to take advantage of those games. To your point, if you, as a fan saying, hey, whatever, you have to win those games to get yourself in a position to have home field advantage and to do those things. Now, we all seen teams catch fire in December and go, which could happen, but we don't know. But, you have to – those are opportunities that you let get by. And that's the thing, I think, with players is they don't always look at it that way because it's just week to week to week to week. But there's been some opportunities that they've let get away from them that like last year, you lose to Buffalo. It's like that one's going to come back and haunt you.
Yeah.
That one is, and it
did.
did. And then, in hindsight, it did. So, are you going to have a bad game? Absolutely. Are those things going to happen? Absolutely. However, that part of watching and talking about the season for me has changed quite a bit. As far as saying, must win or week to week league and all those things compared to now when you could go back and go, that game's going to bite us in the rear end.
Yeah.
At some point.
They got after they got after more. They had 5 sacks last week, but this offensive line of Dallas is a whole different story. They got maybe the best left tackle in football. They got a great center
who I think has a bit of a calf injury.
Yeah.
They have, and we saw this on a graphic. They have a third about 31 million tied up in their front 5. I do, however, though, think their right tackle, Tyron Smith.
He's their left tackle, isn't he?
I don't know if he's the left or the right.
I think he's the left.
He might flip. I don't know if he flips.
Yeah, either way.
He's a big stiff.
Yeah.
And I do think that our guys are going to have, I think they're going to have an okay day on him.
How do you slow down Elliott?
Well, I'm just saying, if we make him, I don't know. Here's the thing with Elliott. He's just under 5 yards per carry. His longest carry of the year was 26, I believe. Is he 26 or 29? So he hasn't ripped off
no big breakaways.
75-yarder, a 68-yarder, you know what I mean? And had a bunch of 1 or 2 yard plays, and then all of a sudden, bang, rips out a big one, like Barry Sanders used to. He is just consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, and you watch him, and you watch him last week, or I'm sorry, on Monday night. Like, Dak Prescott, they're running like a read option with Ezekiel Elliott, and Elliott's averaging 6.8 yards a carry, and it's 3rd and short. Give him the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why would you put the? And I think that might be the one saving grace that we as Viking fans have, is for some reason they want to put the game in the hands of Dak Prescott. And sometimes he's up to it, and sometimes he's not. All the games that they've won, they've scored 31 or more points on offense.
Yeah, and they did on Monday,
31 points or more. If our defense gives up 31 points, well, obviously you don't deserve to win.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they want to just put the game in the hands of Dak Prescott, and I don't know if that's always the best thing to do. You got Amari Cooper, who's in and out of practice.
He's banged up.
He has some knee issues. You just take a little bit off of him, and now they have a very, I think, average receiving corps.
Yeah.
Not that they can't move the chains with them.
And Witten's your age.
Yeah, Witten's only a year or two younger than I am.
Yeah.
And so, you just let him wear down.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, just let him, the first 3 or 4 passes, just let him catch and run. And he'll get tired.
And then he'll be winded.
And then he'll be done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So.
Who was your favorite player to play with from 95 to 2000 with the Vikings? Could be on either side of the ball, but who was your just favorite person to be there at practice with?
There's a couple. I think Robert Smith is still one of my good friends. And I love Robert because he's just so damn funny. You know, he was a funny dude. And the other guy, I mean, I'm better friends now with guys like John Randall than I was really when I played, but Dixon Edwards, who was with the Dallas Cowboys and came up by us. He was a linebacker, so we were in meetings together and the whole thing. And I'll be seeing Dixon this weekend. He won 2 rings with the Cowboys, but Dixon was just okay. So you tell a story about playing and coaching, and I'll never forget getting up. I think it was against Cleveland. It was some December game in Minnesota, and it was 20 below zero. And you go from the hotel and you drive and you park. And at that time, some of us had to park across the street in one of the ramps, and you had to walk outside and come in and you sit down. And I'm mentally trying to get ready, and then Dixon sits down next to me. He looks at me and goes, "Man, I just don't feel like playing today." And everything just went, mentally, I'm like, I don't either. Oh my God. What am I gonna do? I gotta be on the field in an hour.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm like, thanks, you jerk. I'm sitting here trying to hype myself. You know what I mean? You're just trying to mentally get yourself going, and then all of a sudden you just boom.
Yeah.
You know, and that happened in Oakland one time too. Breck Spinner used to be the director of whatever, operations, whatever you want to call it. And it was a Sunday night game or Monday night, I can't remember. It was a Sunday night game, I think, in Oakland at their wherever they used to play. And walking out to the buses, and I hear Breck talking about staying that night, like keeping the hotel another night and everything else. And I go, what's up with that? And he's like, well, the power's out at the stadium, and they may have to cancel the game, and we may have to play tomorrow. And you mentally just, because you've been in meetings all day. Right? You've been in meetings all day. You're getting, you're building this thing up, and then you hear that, and you just go, man, I may have to play tomorrow. That's
Wait another day.
Oh, get one more day of rest, one more day of sleep, whatever. But yeah, Dixon, to that point, Dixon, he used to go. He had he leased or had a yellow and red. It was a yellow Ferrari Spider, and it had red leather interior. And he tells the story. I had to put extra down because the dealer thought it was going to be so damn ugly. I wouldn't want it, so he had to put extra money down on it.
Wow. And
so every once in a while, we just put the top down and take that thing out and just drive all over the Twin Cities with it. And it was. We go back and forth in a tunnel on 94 downtown, just rev it up, It was fun.
Yeah. Pete, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You are a great guest.
Thank you.
Again, we want to thank Pete Bercich. He is such a great guest. We have so much content. We're putting extra on our YouTube page.
I can't wait, dude. I love Pete.
He's awesome.
Those
are good
best,
stories.
Dude. He's a great guy,
All
too.
good
That's
stuff.
what I love about him.
Yep. Great to have him here. All right. Game day pick and play Russian Sundays to Mystic Lake all season long. Pick the winning teams for each of the scheduled games. Top 20 players each week score free slot play. Plus, if you pick every winning team and score the weekly progressive jackpot. Hey, Michael Carbonaro, you ever heard of him?
Yeah,
you've heard of him. Yeah, he's good.
Great.
Ever wondered what it's like to be on the other side of Michael Carbonaro as he works his magic, making people believe the unbelievable? This is your chance to find out. He's a magician, Michael Carbonaro. He's bringing his signature blend of bizarre antics, audience interaction, hilarious video clips, mind-blowing magic straight from his TV show, The Carbonaro Effect, coming to his live stage show here at Mystic Lake. Pints and Pigskins, it's football season. Show off your football skills. You can score up to $5,000 free slot play. Purchase a Coors Light or Sam Adams at participating Mystic Lake bars. Get a voucher to toss a football at the Club M stage. Score up to $25 free slot play. If you score the highest single-day score of the season, you could win $5,000 in free slot play. All right, our show is so good today with Pete Bercich. We're just going to go straight to our picks. So, I'll go first, seeing as how I've been on fire.
Yes, you have, yeah.
Other than picking the Vikings to win, the score was identical. I hate to say it. It happens every year where they completely fall apart in prime time. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Vikings lose by 20-some points.
Wow.
I hate to say it. I think this is the game where everything falls apart. I think the Vikings fan, we've said this year's a roll, they hate Kirk Cousins, then they love him. We win 4 in a row. They think he's the best. This is going to be one of those falling off the cliff moments where it's just blah, horrible game, blame all around. Everybody's going to be so upset. It's going to be, actually, I'll say 34-10.
I think they lose another close one.
Ooh.
I don't think Dallas's offense is as good as people think it is. They've lost to some really bad teams, but I think it's a close one. I think they lose 27-24.
27-24, nice pick. All right, don't forget YouTube, all the social media platforms that you can, podcasts, all those fun things.
Yeah,
obviously listen to you on KFan. Google it. It exists. It's out there.
You'll find it. It's worth it.
All right, thank you for watching. We'll see you back here next week.